Hello everybody and welcome back to Skyrim Special Edition. I've been a little bit kind of up and down on a lot of games recently, but a game which never fails to kind of capture my attention is always Skyrim, isn't it? It is just the classic of classic games, I think, out there, more so than probably anything else I've ever played. And there's quite a few kind of like things I still want to do in Skyrim, to be honest with you, and I figured why not just record it as we go, because I always enjoy doing that, and have some fun kind of along the way. So this is obviously quite a heavily modded playthrough of Skyrim, hence we haven't got the classic intro, although we could select that if we wanted to, but we're not going to. I've installed a lot of mods. Maybe I'll do like a video on that, although to be fair it's very similar to my last kind of Skyrim build. The differences I think are there's a lot more quests and things like that which I've added in, which are quite interesting, so I'm looking forward to playing through a lot of those. That's going to be a big focus, I think, and just having some fun and seeing where we go with it. The character I have created here is called Folk. What's his name? Folk. God, I've forgotten now. I think it's Folk Redspear. That's it. Folk Redspear. It's not where it actually tells you that anywhere. But anyway, that's his name. Now, he's technically a Breton here, and most of you guys know I always like to have a little backstory, I guess, to this. I haven't really played as a Breton in Skyrim for a while, maybe ever, I can't remember, but he looks like a Nord, and the reason is that he was born in Skyrim. He is technically a Nord. He just was very young when he went to High Rock, due to the fact that his parents were kind of savagely murdered. His father was a Jarl, and was in dispute with another Jarl, and they, as a result of which, he was kind of brutally assassinated, I guess, or some bandits attacked at night and took over managed to break into the, I don't know what you would call it, a keep, I guess. He managed to escape and had some relatives in High Rock and went there and grew up, and now he's back for some revenge, and the revenge is basically against all the bandits in Skyrim, but ultimately it might also be against the person he thinks is responsible for organising the bandits, or hiring the bandits, or arming the bandits, and that is Ulfric Stormcloak. So yeah, we'll see how that kind of pans out. These kind of playthroughs are not totally kind of role-played, I kind of like it that way, because then it's easier basically to record, I guess. It's easier to have a bit more fun with it, I think. But generally, as a decision kind of basis here, Folk will kind of like, base what he wants to do on his story, but he's a very kind of honourable guy. If he sees somebody who needs some help, he'll probably help them out and do that kind of thing. But his main kind of, I guess, goal, his main aim is to acquire some wealth, because he knows that if he wants to wage a war on bandits, he's going to need help, and help often doesn't come cheap, and he's going to need equipment. He's going to need a base to kind of, hold up in, and basically start from there. So, he's okay with weapons and things like that. He even knows some magic, because he's from High Rock, and they're kind of, it's a little bit of their thing there. So he's got a few strings to his bow. Oh, he also knows the bow as well. So he, he's kind of and he's going to see, I guess, what kind of works and what doesn't work. Now, as I said, we've got a lot of quest mods in there. We'll probably do the main quest as well, because I haven't done that for a long time, and it's kind of good fun, you know. We've got some really interesting followers. We haven't got Inigo, because I did a whole kind of many episodes with Inigo, and I figured that, you know, we'll you know, go through with someone else. Although I do like the mod Inigo, but there's some other ones there which I think are going to be just as interesting. Kind of multiple different people there potentially that we will probably meet along the way. Combat's been overhauled, so it is more difficult. It might involve me dying, but it should keep things pretty interesting. And yeah, otherwise I think it looks pretty good as well from what I've tested. It seems to be fairly stable. There could be some crashes, so you'll have to kind of bear with me. And we'll do our best to kind of work around those. Yeah, it's really pushing my computer to the limit. It doesn't get 60 frames per second when I'm outside. It's around 40 to 50, which is playable, but there are some stutters every now and then, so you kind of have to bear that in mind. It's an older game now, isn't it, really? Even the special edition and mods add a lot to it. You see, there was a stutter just there which dropped my frame rate by a bit. I don't know what causes them. I wish I did, but maybe I'll look into it, but they're not so bad, to be fair. So let's get started. I've been waffling too much anyway. So for those who don't know, this is the alternate start mod, basically, which allows you to choose how you want to start in Skyrim. It still allows you to do the main quest. Everything that happens in Helgen happens just without you, basically, and then you go there afterwards if you want to kind of activate it, basically.
Approach, my child, and choose where your new life shall begin.
So we're going to choose one of the ones which I quite like to do, which is that we're camping in the woods. So effectively, Folk here has kind of entered into Skyrim. He was heading on across the border. He saw some troops kind of round up some soldiers. He knows that there's this kind of civil war. That's what's kind of brought him back to Skyrim. The fact that he keeps hearing this name, Ulfric Stormcloak, which brings up memories from his kind of youth. And as a result, he, you know, wants to go and find out. And he knows Ulfric is trying to basically take over Skyrim, and he doesn't think that's a good idea. And also he kind of wants to kill him. So with that in mind, he kind of headed in. He headed towards Helgen, but decided not to stay the night. There was a heavy Imperial presence, because even though he's not an Imperial, and he doesn't know how he stands with the Imperials, so he decided to just kind of camp out in the woods for the night, just outside of Helgen, and then kind of make his way on in. He has heard about some bandits nearby, and wanted to go and kind of investigate that. And there's a small little village as well called Riverwood. So let's
The woods can be so peaceful this time of year. Good hunting.
Thank you, Mara. So let's get started, shall we? Yeah, so it just kind of saves that whole intro thing of the car and the kind of thing we've all seen a million times before, basically. And Volk here doesn't need to kind of go through that. So here we are, I guess, outside in Skyrim, as I guess Volk would be just about to have his breakfast, I guess. You hear something in the sky. He would have been woken up probably by a lot of shouting and sounds of fighting around in from Helgen's direction, so he may go and investigate that. Just wants to get all his belongings together. He's got some food. He's got mostly just food. He's got a little bit of armor, not much coin, an axe, and that's kind of it really to his name. So, you know, he didn't want to. He didn't have much in hierarchy. He led a fairly modest life, and you know, as a result, he's kind of headed back now. He would be around about 20, 21-ish, fairly young, and yeah, he obviously doesn't have much to his name right now, so he's kind of setting out to clear his family's name, as it were, get revenge, and maybe establish himself in Skyrim, or just die horribly. One of the two, basically. Yeah, so there we go. We've got a bow, and we've got an axe. That's basically it, really, at the minute. One of the mods which I'm not going to be using, which I've used fairly extensively within Skyrim on other playthroughs, is a mod called Frostfall. That mod basically makes Skyrim a very harsh place, and the cold can kill you. Now, the reason why I decided not to do that was because I love it for the immersion side of things, but it does become a little bit annoying sometimes, so I decided not to kind of go through with that mod, and it kind of fits with it because Folk here is a Nord by birth, so he'd probably be, you know, hardy to the cold a little bit more than some others, so I think that kind of works out alright. He knows a little bit of alchemy, but not much. He knows these blue mountain flowers and purple mountain flowers kind of mixed with a few things to, you know, make some potions and stuff like that, but he's not really an alchemist. What he has kind of brought up with and knows a little bit about is smithing, so that's something which he'll kind of do. But at the minute he just wants to go back and investigate Helgen, because he saw that thing fly overhead and he's not really sure what that was. It was big and it flew, and that's probably bad news. So he's just going to kind of head back up here and see what's going on around here. And these guys have just, I guess, come from Helgen, just merchants maybe. Hey there, guys, good to see you. Yeah, I think you can agree it's a pretty good looking game when you mod it a fair amount. We're getting some decent frames at the minute, but as I said, it can chug a little bit in other areas, so bear that in mind, basically. As I kind of said before, we have loads of mods on, which... How can I hear... Oh, it's you. Have I not got my... I should probably have my axe out, shouldn't I? Just in case, yeah. And I may tweak with settings and things like that as we go through it, so, you know, we'll see, basically. And I guess as he would come into Helgen here, he would be confronted by this site where, when he kind of passed through and decided not to stay last night, he's probably firstly thinking he's pretty lucky, but secondly kind of a bit, I don't know, just what on earth happened here. It looks like there was a full-scale war, yet the commotion he heard lasted, you know, maybe a few minutes, if that. So, yeah, doesn't seem to be many people around. Just a body over here, burned corpse, and a leather-bound journal, which he will proceed to have a look through. So kind of reading through, you can see that this is about an adventurer who is passing through, trying to cross over into Skyrim. As he tries to cross and make his way up to Darkwater Crossing, this area is filled with Imperial patrols, which is what folk saw, but kind of, you know, avoided them. Turned out to be a bad idea. He woke in the morning with an Imperial sword pressed to his neck. Patrol found me camped under a rock outcropping on the edge of the volcanic marshes. So they kind of like arrested him, if you like, but the ambush captured Ulfric Stormcloak. Well, that will certainly pique folks' interest, with Ulfric's name bringing up there. So he was captured. They're saying there was a dragon. Now, folk knows of the legends of dragons, but they don't exist anymore, so he's thinking that probably wasn't a dragon, it was something else. But anyway, General Tullius, he knows of General Tullius. It seems that Ulfric escaped though, so he knows Ulfric was here, which is interesting, and was captured. And if only, I guess, that whatever hadn't attacked, Ulfric would be dead, and I guess Folk probably would have had his job done. That's a big old spider. Or a small spider, I guess, in Skyrim's terms. So yeah, interesting. Now, he feels it's probably his duty to go and inform some people about what's happened here, as he probably looks like he's the first person here. Doesn't look like there was any survivors at this point either, so that's not so good. So he'll head down this way, I guess. We'll drop a little quick save because I might do that every so often, quite often, because crashes can be a thing, they can be quite annoying, and yeah, bear that in mind. As I said, I've played off camera a fair amount with this build and it's been pretty good. I maybe in about 4 hours of gameplay had a crash, so that's not terrible, but we'll see. You can see over there one of the ancient kind of Nord barrows. Okay, we're pretty thirsty and hungry actually, so we can eat something. I guess we skipped breakfast. Obviously, Volk is a fan of mead. More so than milk, but you know, he's willing to drink anyway. So as I said, I'm not playing with Fossil, but I am still playing with a mod called I Need, which means that, you know, we have to manage fatigue, eating, sleeping, that type of thing. So that is still going to be a thing, because I think that's a fairly manageable thing. It's not crazy, and I quite like the immersion there. So he knows Riverwood was the place he was going to kind of head towards. There's some guard tower here with the local hold guards. I imagine he would have said to them, you know, something's happened over at Helgen, you guys might want to investigate. But being the guards they are, they, you know, probably not too interested in that. This is quite a view, isn't it? Just over here, Lake Ilnolta. That is quite the view. This is the thing I was thinking about the other day when I was thinking about playing Skyrim again. Well, probably a few weeks ago actually, because it's taken me that long to actually get the build together and mod and everything. But one of the reasons why Skyrim I think is so popular nowadays, or is still so popular shall we say, is because no other game does what it does, which is this open world. There are so many games which claim to be open world, but the reality is that a lot of it is gated off by leveling or things like that. Assassin's Creed is an example, or because of story stuff it gates off sections you don't go to. Witcher 3 would be an example of that. Skyrim is like, literally, you want to go there, just go there. If I'm like, hey, I want to know what's the other side of this lake, I can just go there. There's nothing stopping me from doing that, you know. So it's, yeah. I just don't feel that there's that many games that actually do that. Now I think he's going to do a quick prayer to the Guardian Stones. Probably the Warrior Stone. As is customary, I guess, as you are entering into Skyrim. And just up here is one of the places that he had kind of heard about. So he looks over at these amazing looking waterfalls just over here. They do look good. Yeah, there was a rumour he heard of Embershard Mine here being taken over by bandits, and he figured that, you know, he might want to actually just pay them a visit and just see, because, as I said, Folk here is not a fan of bandits. And he knows a bandit when he sees one, and that is a bandit. So yeah, he'll be pretty merciless with bandits, and he'll take everything he can off them, including staffs. That's an interesting one. That'd be worth a bit of money though, that's for sure. And he's got some leather armour. For good measure, a sword would have been nicer, but there we go. I guess he's probably going to head on in and just have a little look and see what we've got here. One of the mods that I've got on here is called Obis, and take a few torches because you never know when they'll come in handy. Now that's a tripwire there, so we'll just avoid that one, I think. Maybe we'll just go a little bit quieter. These mushrooms can make for a good stew as well. And see what we've got going on over here. Oh, there's some people down here. There's a couple of them. Okay, just appears to be the two of them. They do. One of them appears to have a big weapon, so this guy's going to sleep by the looks of it, which is good news. If we take him out, that's good. His friend didn't notice by the looks of it, so we'll take him out too, I think. Very nice. So one of the mods I've got for combat is called Wildcat, and it... Oh, hello. Some iron armour, very nice. And an iron sword. Very good, we'll take that, thank you. Yeah, it's called Wildcat, and essentially it beefs up the damage you take, the damage you do. Well, that's good. And makes your foes a bit more difficult, a bit smarter. They'll do better things. So this fur armor is not better. We'll put on this iron armor though. We'll favourite that, I think, but we'll just keep the bow for a minute. Well, I've got 7 silver rings. That seems excessive. And an iron sword as well. So we can unfavourite that, and we've got a nice iron sword as well. Excellent. As I said, he's no stranger to smithing, is Falk here, so he's going to pick up a bit of iron and where he can. You have to be a little bit careful with iron because they will it will be a little bit trickier. Steel arrows, though, are always useful. We got everything we wanted off him. I don't think he's a two-handed kind of guy unless there's something pretty special. Two-handed, though, is pretty deadly as well. I don't think we need to read his journal. I think we can work out what happened. He died from a cave-in. Oh, hello. Bit of wine. Mind if I do? Give me 1 second while I just send a message to somebody because they've just messaged me. And we'll see what happens. Hello. Well, this guy's wandered off. Oh yes. Good shot. The other guy just wandered off though, so I don't know where he went to. That was a hell of a shot though, wasn't it? A quarterstaff, eh? I think you can keep your big stick, thanks. There we go. Probably wondering where his friend's got to, right? There we go. Oh, and another quarterstaff. Well, big sticks generally hurt when people hit you with them, but while we're here, we'll just fling his body across. Where did he land? Right down there. No one will ever know. Okay. So far so good. He's I guess his skills against these kind of low-level bandits is showing a little bit. He's got a shield actually, might as well use the shield. We don't know, we're a little bit clunkier, but... Okay. There's a guy around here, isn't there? Yep, here we go. There we are. A red face mask. Some studded armour that apparently is better than the armour I'm wearing, but you can keep your studded armour. Hello, this is what we're after. Steal from the bandits and... ooh, iron sword of denting. Reduce armour by 50 points for 10 seconds. Well, that sounds pretty darn good to me. Oh, wrong one. Can we wear the face mask? How does it look? Looks a little bit silly underneath here, but I kind of like the idea of it. We're kind of like protecting our... ooh, and a spell tome as well. We'll have a look at that at some point. It's a nice tankard, isn't it? Iron dagger, you never know. And some swords, but I think we're okay for the minute with this sword. We'll need to use a shield at least. Maybe at some point we can kind of... okay, that's the toilet. Maybe at some point we can, you know, maybe like... sorry, I'm literally just texting here, which is terrible, I know, but actually we need to eat something as well. Someone asked me for a recommendation for Netflix, and I'm recommending a series I watched called Dark. If you haven't seen it, you should. It is really good. I watched like the whole series in a day because it was so good. It's in German. It does have subtitles or dubbing, but you know, that puts off some people I know, which it shouldn't, because honestly it was really good. Okay, so there's a guy down here. Did I hear anybody else? Maybe didn't. We can take him out though, or her actually. Okay. Feeling like there's another... they're invisible. Okay. Right. Yep. So what we have to do is, firstly, don't get hit with arrows. Because they hurt a lot. Secondly, if somebody has a two-handed Colovian fur armor, I'll take it. Looks good. Oh boy. Yeah, very regal looking actually. I like it. Anyway. Yeah, somebody has like a two-handed weapon, we have to go in quick on them because, you know, and block, because otherwise you die. One hit from like a two-handed weapon will just annihilate you basically. They're very, very powerful. You can see the bandits had a cozy little setup around here. It was a woman here, yeah. I didn't need that pickaxe. Ooh, a bit of ore. And a book. Okay. So yeah, I was talking about Dark actually. And it's kind of like, I called it kind of a cross between like Stranger Things and the TV show Lost, which were two of my kind of favourite TV shows. It's really good. It's a bit time travel-y, but some people kind of put off by that. but it's done in a way which I think is really, really clever. And kind of like every episode has these kind of little mini cliffhangers, I guess, which is what keeps people going. But I like it because it's set in kind of like modern times, and it feels a lot like a kind of like one of those kind of like modern kind of like TV detective shows from like Scandinavia or something like that. It's kind of like very gritty. It's very gritty. It's really cool. It's German though, which does put people off. But yeah, it has subtitles, as I said. I watched it with subtitles and I thought it was really good. Okay, so let's see what we can pillage from these guys. Oh, well, a little bit of food's always good. Definitely take their wine. As I said, a fan of the wine. Mead, wine, anything alcoholic basically. Must be that gold is always very well welcome. Ooh, and a chest. Some iron boots. I think we already have iron boots on, actually. I haven't decided if we're going to go heavy armor or light. I think probably heavy because I've gone light a lot, and it's kind of good sometimes just be a walking tank, especially with how much damage like some people are going to be able to do. An iron mace, scroll of last word. Interrupts target spellcaster if the spell is interrupted. Any other illusion spellcaster. Okay, I think that's going to be sold, but we're better. How much is that iron mace worth? Yeah, I guess we could sell it. We'll take a coin purse as well. Ooh, and iron vein. Okay. So, we have shut down the iron battle axe. Anyway, it just looks like they're asleep. It looks quite cute. We have successfully shut down our first bandit operation. Or did we? We did not, apparently. What the hell is that? Oh, this is from mining the iron. Yes, this is a thing that can happen. Okay. That's kind of scared the bejesus. Got a bit of iron ore out of it though. He did hit us a little bit though. Yeah, so that's the thing that can happen. Maybe we'll just kind of eat something and hope that that will kind of get us back. Yeah, sometimes when you mine, you get those guardians appear, which actually do give you more ore if they don't kill you. And the other slightly annoying thing about them, I don't know which mod puts them in, but the slightly annoying thing about them is that they will just appear, and you'll just keep mining. Oh, it's the evening. I actually had not seen this in the evening, this EMB, and I think it looks really good. As I said, I'll do a separate video on mods. I can't remember the exact name of it. I think it's XNES, Zenez or something like that, EMB. And it's there was like different presets, and I went for like the one which looked the best basically. And thought I'd just take a performance hit. Okay, so eventually Falk arrives in Riverwood.
A dragon! I saw a dragon!
What? What is it now, Mother?
It was as big as the mountain and black as night.
Well,
It flew right
she
over
saw the same thing as us, and she thinks it's a dragon, so
keep on like this,
But
everyone in town
doesn't look
will
like a dragon came near
and I've
here.
got better things to do than listen to more of your fantasies.
Hmm.
See, it was a dragon. It'll kill us all, and then you'll believe me.
Did you see a dragon?
Nobody believes me, but I tell you, I saw a dragon.
Hmm. I kind of believe you, but I don't know if it's a dragon or not. Oh, there's a blacksmith. That'll be open in the morning. We could pay them a visit. Oh, and a shop as well. But we're probably going to want to get down for the night. Who are you? Ygritte. Oh, hi. Oh, and notice boards. These are very useful. So, this is where we're going to get a lot of our bounties from. Okay, there's a bounty there. Okay, we'll have a look at that one as well. And Dustman's Cairn, we'll kind of have a look at that. Okay, so yeah, a lot of people will post up stuff there about wanting to like bandit camps, things like that. So we'll find some interesting information there about where we can look for them and try and eradicate them from the face of Skyrim, because clearly the guards do nothing about it. As there was a guard post just around, they're probably just being paid off or something like that, so there's not much really we can do about it. Oh, it's a quaint inn. What the hell kind of ribcage is that? Must be a whale. It's a nice mud crab you've got there.
Ale's going bad.
I guess you don't have potatoes in your storm. Just make sure
Hey.
we get a fresh batch soon.
Come on in. Let me know if
Didn't
you need
even
anything.
make eye
Or
contact.
take a seat by the fire and I'll send someone over.
Hi.
We got rooms and food. Drink too. I cook. Much else to tell.
Okay, cool. What have you got for
Drink
sale?
for the thirsty, food for the hungry.
Oh, we got a bit of ale. I'll take a bit of that, bit of wine. Actually, got to be careful because this might be super expensive. Okay, that'll do. Any leads? Yeah.
Here, take a look at this.
Oh, a
Some of
bounty,
the Jarl's
okay.
men came by and left this bounty letter.
Good. And any rumours?
There have been whispers. A boy up in Windhelm.
Not really
named
interested in that.
Aventus Aretino. Been trying to contact the Dark Brotherhood.
Really? Dark Brotherhood, eh? And some water?
Of course.
Thanks. Thanks,
Until
Orgnar.
next time.
Thank you, Orgnar. Now where was the lady? I think she's got the rooms. There she is.
You're that visitor been poking around.
I literally just walked in town, but thanks. I'd like to rent a room.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Thank you. Strange bunch, aren't they? Well, I think we're gonna probably get our head down. It's about 9 PM. It's been a long day. Bandits have been killed. And when we wake up, we'll set off for Whiterun, because
Certainly.
we have to go and let the Jarl know about what happened over in Helgen. So we'll do that, but that's fine. So I think we'll sleep for about 8 hours. It's probably been a very long day. Spoilers, don't think it's been that long a day. And I think that's where we will finish this first episode.
I need some more ale.
You've had more.
And we'll have a bit of ale, maybe a little bit of water, and we'd probably have like a beef stew for breakfast, I think, and a red apple.
There once was a hero named Ragnar.
And we're good to go. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching, as always, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.